There is something I have wanted to share with you for quite some time. Something that most individuals overlook on their spiritual journey. It is not a complicated ritual, nor is it about reading more books or meditating for longer hours. Instead, it is something far more powerful, and yet it is frequently misunderstood, avoided, or even feared. I will reveal exactly what it is at the end of this video, but here is a hint. It pertains to surrender. However, it is not the type of surrender you have been led to believe. This concept does not involve giving up or exhibiting weakness. It is something deeper, something that has the potential to transform your entire relationship with life, pain, your past, and even your purpose. I encourage you to stay with me until the end, because if you have been feeling stuck, lost, or as if your efforts are fruitless, this might be the one thing you have never truly embraced. Once you comprehend it, not solely with your mind, but with your heart, you will feel a weight lift off your chest. You will breathe more easily, and you will finally cease the internal battle. Life will no longer seem like a relentless struggle. Let us be honest. We live in a world that constantly encourages us never to give up, to keep pushing, to fight harder, to hustle more. While there is a time and a place for effort, spiritual growth does not adhere to the same principles as worldly success. In fact, it often operates in the opposite manner. You grow spiritually not by accumulating more, but by letting go. Not by clinging, but by releasing. Not by controlling, but by surrendering. The challenge is that what many people believe surrender to mean is not surrender at all. Many assume it signifies doing nothing or confuse it with being passive. However, real surrender is active. It is a conscious decision. It does not indicate weakness. It reflects wisdom. It does not mean stepping back from life. It means stepping into your truth. Allow me to share a personal experience that might resonate with you. There was a period in my life when I was following all the right steps. I meditated daily, read spiritual literature, and attempted to maintain a positive outlook. Yet, inside I felt constricted. I was anxious and was forcing myself to heal more quickly and to find peace, even when I did not feel peaceful at all. One night, overwhelmed with frustration, I broke down. I sat on the floor, abandoned all techniques, and whispered, "I do not know what to do anymore." In that instant, something shifted, not because I had figured something out, but because I had finally let go of the need to control my journey. That was the beginning of my genuine surrender. I learned something that is seldom discussed. Surrender is not about relinquishing life. It is about releasing the illusion that you can control everything. Consider this. Have you ever tried so hard to manipulate a situation only to see it collapse? Perhaps it was a relationship you clung to, a job you were desperate to excel in, or a person you attempted to fix. You invested everything, sacrificing your peace for it, yet it still did not work out. After the struggle, maybe you finally let go. You ceased fighting, you cried, you felt the pain, and strangely, peace entered. Not because the situation was resolved, but because you had fully surrendered to what? Surrender does not mean you stop caring. It means you cease trying to force life to conform to your timeline. It means relinquishing the belief that your mind always knows what is best. You begin to trust a deeper intelligence, the same intelligence that keeps your heart beating without your conscious thought, the same one that created the stars, the trees, and the ocean. That intelligence is already guiding your life, but you must stop resisting it to feel its presence. One significant barrier to surrender is fear, the fear that if we let go, everything will disintegrate. Fear that relinquishing control will lead to loss. However, here is a paradox. When you surrender, you do not lose control. You lose the illusion of control. This is when true peace enters your life, because you are no longer bearing the weight of the world on your shoulders. Let us consider a real-life scenario. Imagine you are on a boat in the middle of a river, rowing hard against a strong current. You are sweating, exhausted, and terrified that if you stop rowing, you will crash. Yet all along, the river is trying to guide you exactly where you need to go. Such is the nature of life. When you resist, you suffer. When you surrender and flow with it, life becomes quieter, lighter, and more aligned. Now, I know you might be wondering, how do I actually surrender? Let us make this practical. First, observe where you are resisting life. Is there something you continually fight against? It may be a situation, a person, or even a part of yourself. Resistance manifests as tension, anxiety, or overthinking. Surrender begins with awareness, so gently ask yourself where you are still trying to control the uncontrollable. Second, allow yourself to feel what you have been avoiding. Often we keep ourselves busy, distracted, or numb to escape pain. However, surrender means permitting feelings to surface. If sadness arises, let it. If anger surfaces, experience it without judgment. The more you resist an emotion, the louder it becomes. But the moment you fully embrace it, it starts to dissolve. That is emotional surrender. Third, release the need to understand everything. This can be challenging for those with spiritual inclinations, as we often strive to make sense of everything. However, some things may not make sense until years down the line, or perhaps never. And that is perfectly fine. When you stop trying to solve life's mysteries like a puzzle and simply exist in each moment, you are surrendering to the present, and it is in presence that peace resides. Allow me to share a powerful story. There was a woman who battled anxiety for years. She tried everything: therapy, affirmations, and spiritual practices, yet nothing provided lasting relief. One day she went outside, sat under a tree, and instead of trying to fix herself, she simply sat there and murmured, "I do not know what I am doing anymore, but I am willing to trust life." That moment marked her turning point. While her anxiety did not disappear overnight, from that day forward, something softened within her. She ceased the struggle to be healed, and as a result, healing began to happen naturally. This is the secret that often eludes people. Surrender is not the conclusion of your spiritual path. It is the gateway into it. It occurs when your mind finally yields to your soul, when the ego stops pretending to know the way, and when you stop asking, "How can I change this?" and start inquiring, "What is life trying to teach me here?" Furthermore, surrender is not merely a one-time act. It is a repeated practice, something you engage in every hole. Time life presents something unforeseen. Every time, things do not unfold as planned, and each time your mind panics or your heart breaks. Each instance is another opportunity to surrender, and with each submission, you descend further into peace. Now, let me address something deeply personal. Have you ever chased a dream or goal that simply did not come to fruition? You poured your heart into it, visualized, worked diligently, prayed, and yet nothing materialized. Sometimes that is not failure, rather it is life, prompting you to surrender your attachment to specific outcomes, trusting that either something better is on the horizon or there is a lesson to be learned. One of the most profound spiritual acts you can perform is to declare, even if it does not happen as I desire, I trust the unfolding of life. This embodies true faith. As a final practical tip, start each day with surrender. Before you rise from your bed, place your hand on your heart and say, "Life, I surrender this day to you. Guide me, use me, show me what I need to see." By doing this, you are not relinquishing your power. Rather, you are aligning with a greater force. Remember what I shared at the beginning. There is a spiritual truth about surrender that few discuss. Here it is. True surrender is not about relinquishing what you desire. It is about letting go of the belief that you must transform into someone else to attain it. Many believe that surrender entails ceasing to desire. However, the deeper truth is that you stop chasing your desires with desperation. You cease to believe that your worth is contingent upon achieving them. You abandon the pretense that you must become someone different to be loved, successful, or at peace. You surrender all that noise and return to your true self, your soul. Ironically, it is from this surrendered state that everything you genuinely need finds its way to you effortlessly, without struggle and devoid of fear. This is what happened to me, and I firmly believe it can happen for you too. If you feel weary from carrying so much, perhaps it is not due to doing life incorrectly. Perhaps it is simply time to release the weight. It may be time to trust life more than you trust your own plans. It might be time to stop merely surviving and begin truly surrendering. Therefore, let me leave you with this. Surrender is not the conclusion of your journey. It is the commencement of genuine freedom.